It is a process by which the fetus is delivered by a laparotomy, that is incision on the abdominal wall and incision on the uterine wall. So there are two incisions. We are going inside the abdominal cavity, locating the uterus, incising on it, and extracting the fetus through the abdomen and not per vaginalis, not by natural birth. So that is caesarean section. Why are we calling it LSCS, lower segment caesarean section? What do you mean by lower segment caesarean section? What do you mean by lower segment? Lower segment is that part of the uterus where the peritoneum is loosely attached. We are choosing the lower segment and not the upper segment. Why? Yeah, there is, see, first of all, হ্যাঁ বেশ ডাইরেক্টলি আসবে না কেন আমি আর ওটাকে আর কপি করে নেবার জায়গা নেই ওখানে হ্যাঁ দেখো কানেকশন so we have caesarean section. There must be an upper segment caesarean section. That is why we are naming it as a lower segment caesarean section. We don't call it upper segment, we call it classical caesarean section and lower segment caesarean section. We have chosen the lower segment because it is easier for us. Easier, safer, accessible, approachable, and baby and mother safe. So, only during pregnancy the lower segment is produced. You will not find the lower segment in a non-pregnant uterus. Do you get a non-pregnant uterus, upper segment, lower segment? Do you find any distinction? No. Why? Because the lower segment is formed during pregnancy. And this is the change that occurs during pregnancy, so that the uterus contracts from above, like Ameratir moton ekdom. It contracts from above downwards to push the fetus out. This is the whole process. And the lower segment gets thinned out. The upper segment is, the wall is thick, but the lower segment, with the progress of pregnancy, that gets thinned out. That is why this has been chosen as the site of incision on the uterine wall to take out the fetus. But previously, it was classically, it was much more common because people are learning how to deliver. The name caesarean section, it was assumed that it has, Julius Caesar was born by this. But this is a myth, because in those days, if there was any abdominal delivery, the mother didn't survive. So Julius Caesar's mother survived his after his birth for quite some time. So she didn't deliver by it's a myth. Scissor means to section, to cut. This is how it has come. And lower segment, you can go through the short history. It is interesting, but before exams, I think we should pinpoint on the vital things. Munro Kerr method of incision, that in the lower segment also we can put a transverse incision or a vertical incision, all in the lower segment. Okay. Pain আছে So if you draw the uterus, so we give the incision somewhere here. This is the lower segment, and this part is the upper segment, and here this is the lower segment. So it is often called lower segment cesarean section or lower uterine cesarean section. Both LUCS or LSCS, both are interchangeably used. So don't get confused if you are asked LUCS or LSCS, it's the same thing. And so definition wise, it is a surgical procedure involving a delivering of the baby through an abdominal incision and an uterine incision. Uterine incision, we call it hysterotomy. Don't mention the name hysterotomy. Hysterotomy is used in a different connotation. It is done in case of lower gestational age. Not in term pregnancy, we don't use the term hysterotomy. So it is typically performed in vaginal birth. Why are you doing a cesarean section? Must be we have confronted with some obstacle in the vaginal delivery. What can be the reasons why we take up cesarean section? Give me some reasons of doing a cesarean section. First, fetal distress. Baby is in distress. Why the baby is in distress? For several reasons. So we categorize it, say, in the power, passage, and passenger. There has been problem in any one of these three. Either the passage is too narrow, or the baby is too small, baby is too large, baby is multiple, baby is not in the position to come out. That means the presentation is not favorable. What is the most commonest presentation? Commonest presentation. Ekdom bhul bolbe na. Presentation I have said. Cephalic presentation. Baki golpo pore. Presentation is cephalic. That is most welcome. So if the baby has malpresentation, we might have to do. Okay. So based on few criteria, there has been the indications of cesarean section. Okay. If you have gone through it, you know something about cesarean section. Have you seen a cesarean section? You have seen it. What was the indication in the patient that you have seen the cesarean section? Give me one indication. If you have seen one, tell me which fetal distress. That is a common one. Anything else? Someone else has seen a cesarean section? Post-term. That means the baby has crossed the expected date of delivery. Post-term is 42 weeks. Post-term, beyond 40 weeks, 2 weeks. Post-term, okay. Anything else? CPD. Malpresentation. Breech is also a malpresentation, right? It is a malpresentation. And what he was saying was position. Left occipito anterior, these are all position. Position and presentation, don't get confused. And the presenting part is the vertex. Cephalic also, brow is not a favorable condition for vaginal delivery. That is for the pelvis. So we have categorized on the basis of power, passage, passenger. So power is the uterine contractility, how much the uterus is contracting, whether it is contracting the right way. That means if it is an incoordinate uterine action, then the fetus will not pass. Okay. Then passage is the contracted pelvis. Pelvis is not adequate, that is cephalopelvic disproportion. And passenger, that is the baby. So we have discussed, but these indications are based on 6 criteria. What is, that is passage only. We have not come to each criteria individually. Passage, that is all passage. Passage means mother. Passenger is the baby. And the power is also the uterine contraction. So these two are maternal factors and passenger is the fetal factor. Okay? You try to understand it conceptually, then you don't have to mug up things. Indications are based on 6 criteria broadly. Based on, say, the parity. Parity, you understand? What is parity? You have to define parity. Louder. Anyone? Raise your hands, give the answer. Number of number of times viable pregnancy she has delivered. She is not now pregnant. That will become gravida. We are talking about parity. So how many pregnancies she has encountered. Okay, so depends on parity, depends upon the presence or absence of a previous history of cesarean section, whether it is a scarred uterus or not. Scarred uterus may happen even without a cesarean section. If she is a multigravida, that uterus is also scarred, but not by doctor, but it is by nature. So she is multigravida. So it depends upon the parity, history of previous cesarean section. That becomes an important indication for cesarean section, because if a scarred uterus, when there is a scar, it is more prone to rupture. Why? Because the scar tissue, it depends how it has healed. It will not be the same in a non-scarred uterus. So it is more prone to dehiscence or rupture. So that is a that is an emergency, isn't it? It's threatening the life of the mother and the fetus. Mother's life is also threatened. If it ruptures, rupture uterus is a catastrophic thing. So we have to take the history, previous history, parity. Then now the baby is, the patient is in labor or not. This is an important criteria. You can plan a cesarean section, you can do an emergency cesarean section. Patient is in labor or not, first you have to find out. This is one criteria to decide whether you will do a scissor or not. I have talked about parity, previous history of cesarean section, now whether she is in labor or not, what is the presentation now, what is the number of fetus, okay, and what is the gestational age now, what week of gestation she is now. If the patient is at say 20 weeks, will you do a cesarean section? No. Suppose a patient has come to you at say 37 weeks with history of 2 previous cesarean section. She has a history of say hypertension. She is having now HDP. Some of you have attended a class on HDP today. No, not in this group. HDP is what? What is HDP? Hypertensive disorders of pregnancy. That can cause what? Obstetric emergency, abruptio placenta. That placenta may prematurely separate. So there will be antepartum hemorrhage. So this can be a reason why you might have to do a cesarean section. Are you getting? I want to just say it like this so that you remember. So these are the 6 points on which Robson's classification. This gentleman, I have met him. 10 points based on these 6, because it will be again classified according to primigravida, multigravida, in labor, not in labor, less than 37 weeks, more than 37. So it comes up to 10 points. You don't have to mug up. Try to think. A patient coming to you will have any of these 6 things. Now you classify why the cesarean section is done. I met this Robson, this gentleman, in a conference. Okay, so he was telling that you can make your own indication. In your hospital, you just take the history, write down the indication, and you classify which group of patients are having maximum cesarean section. So you can classify which group is having maximum. If a breech presentation comes, will you jump and do a cesarean section? You might have to. But that incidence will not be so high, because the incidence of breech is itself very low. At term, there is only 3% cases of breech presentation. In earlier weeks, we have more of malpresentation. But with progress of time, cephalic becomes the most predominant presentation. Are you understanding what I'm saying? If you don't understand, please raise your hands. There is nothing, you won't know everything at the same time, at the very beginning. But you have gone through this topic, cesarean section, I think. So this is the surgery, it is done. We have discussed about the indications, define, so it is either classical or lower segment. It can be categorized as emergency or elective. Why elective? Suppose the patient is a high risk group. She has history of repeats cesarean section. She is a patient of preeclampsia. So she has her risks. So we plan a section, say in the morning hours when the senior doctors will be there, everything will be in tune. You choose a time for this patient as an elective cesarean section. Now the patient comes in emergency. Emergency, you don't get everything at the very way you want it to happen. So elective is you pre-schedule a timing for the cesarean section, and emergency is the situation is calling for a cesarean section. You are not prepared, but the patient has come to you and you have to do it. You have to do it at your war footing, you have to be ready. So this becomes a bit more difficult. You might have to work with more, say, junior staff who is on duty. You are not getting that faculty who would be more senior and more competent. At times you might not get. That is why sometimes we do elective cesarean section, keeping it at a definite time. Can classify for the maternal indications, fetal indications, placenta. You can make it up yourself. You think, so basically 5 things you have to keep in mind. Say prior history of cesarean section, the commonest indications, prior history of cesarean delivery, dystocia, that is abnormal labor, that is difficult labor, obstructed labor. Patient had gone into labor, now it is not progressing anymore. Baby is having, there is fetal distress. Other day we had done a CTG. You might be having what type of CTG? Did you attend that CTG class? No, I think that was a junior batch. But you must be knowing by now. If you are senior, that doesn't exempt you of not knowing it. You must be knowing it better. What are the 3 classifications? Normal CTG, non-reassuring, and pathological. So you get a non-reassuring CTG. You might have to do it. That is, fetal distress is there. Fetal distress means that heart rate is not, there is what are the 4 criteria of CTG? Baseline heart rate, baseline beat to beat variability, presence of accelerations, and absence of deceleration, late decelerations and variable decelerations. Early decelerations may be present. So there is fetal jeopardy. Fetus is at risk, you do it. Dystocia, you understand that is a difficult labor. Abnormal fetal presentation, malpresentation. It could be brow, it could be cephalic, but brow presentation, face presentation. All cephalic are not vertex. Face, brow, these are not vertex presentation. So this is not normal presentation. And placental complications. That means either there has been an abruptio, that is the placenta has separated prematurely. What will happen if the placenta should separate after the delivery? If the placenta separates before, there will be bleeding. That will cause fetal distress. Also, the mother is also at risk if there is too much of bleeding. And placenta is low lying. There can be multiple pregnancy, twins. That is multiple pregnancy. Pardon? Monochorionic monoamniotic is a kind of multiple pregnancy only. You club it as multiple pregnancy. So antenatal indications, malpresentations, APAVC, you have discussed all this. Previous surgery may not be a cesarean, maybe a myomectomy has been done. Any other surgery also. There is a scar, surgical scar, that weakens the integrity of the uterine wall, that can rupture, that can dehisce. Bad obstetric history. She has 4 losses. Now you want to have a good baby. So you will do a planned elective cesarean section. So elective cesarean section, you plan it. Fetal macro, large baby. Where will you get a large baby? Diabetes, large for date. Fetopelvic disproportion, CPD, IUGR, fetus is not growing properly. That means there is a growth restriction. Baby is not growing to the level that you want it to grow. That means there is a lag. Why? So there is fetal distress is there. That is a chronic fetal distress. There can be lack of fetoplacental insufficiency. That means the blood supply is not adequate. That can be due to various reasons, due to hypertension, diabetes, several reasons. Or there can be some congenital defects. So these are the reasons. You don't have to remember like this. The 5 basic things, previous history of cesarean section. Now give me the indications. Quick, one indication of cesarean section. Parity bolle hobe na, indication. Okay. One word. Fast. When you are asked about the indications, you come out with the commoner ones. Don't cite some uncommon things. So conditions requiring labor inductions, preeclampsia, diabetes, these are medical indications where you do a cesarean section. Or there has been a premature rupture of membranes. The membrane should rupture after the onset of labor. Now it has ruptured before the onset of labor. That will cause more infection to the baby. So we have to do a quick delivery. Why do you want to do an abdominal delivery? You want to forego that time. Na? For a normal delivery, it may take 12 to 16 hours time. I don't have that time. Not because I will not give it, but because the patient will not bear that length of time. Maybe she is at distress or the baby is at distress. So it can be, say, antepartum conditions, ones that we have discussed. It can be intrapartum conditions. Intrapartum, the same things, fetal distress, prolonged labor, labor is prolonged, malpresentation. You have just discovered in labor that the fetus is not encephalic, it is breech. I'll just give you an example. Last 1 or 2 days back, I had a patient who had delivered, she had come with labor pains at 30 weeks. And that was a breech. Her previous lie was transverse lie, and then we got her as breech. So we delivered a breech delivery. We didn't give the time also to get her do a cesarean section. She progressed. So that was a baby is still in ICU. 30 weeks, 1.5 grams is the baby's weight. Okay, so why do we do a cesarean section? Just to accelerate the process of retrieving the baby from the mother's womb. So it can be done in case of obstructed labor, cord prolapse. Suddenly there is a cord prolapse, so the baby's blood supply will be hampered. So do an immediate section. And complications like eclampsia, if you don't do it, say a patient may go into eclampsia. You know what is eclampsia? What is eclampsia? There will be convulsions. So yes? Because Caesar is convulsion only. This Caesar is SEIZURE. This is CAESAR. And maternal indications, all this. Now one thing we have missed, maternal request. This is also an indication. She will not allow a vaginal delivery. This is a very common thing nowadays. Prior cesarean delivery, you know, pelvic deformity, previous perineal trauma, prior pelvic or rectal, any other surgery that has been done, that is causing obstruction in the passage. It will all come down to this. Or there is active infection, herpes infection, HIV infection. If you allow a delivery through vagina, that will cause infection of the fetus. Her fetus will be affected. Cardiac or pulmonary disease, patient will not be able to withstand that load of labor. Labor it is called because there is an immense blood flow through the heart. So if the patient is compromised, her cardiac or pulmonary compromise is there, she will not be able to withstand that rigorous labor. In those cases also, we do a cesarean section. Or there is any aneurysm that might rupture, you know, if there is a cerebral aneurysm that can rupture. Any pathology requiring concurrent intra-abdominal surgery, this is not very common, and perimortem cesarean section. Suppose the patient is dying, you want to make a desperate attempt. In COVID times, few were done like this to retrieve the baby. Okay, this can happen in a dying patient also, perimortem. Do a quick surgery, then we do a classical surgery, a cesarean section. Just take out the baby. You know that mother will not survive. This is a desperate attempt to save the baby. Don't give this indication as your first indication. You don't have to give, you just quote those 5 that we have said. This you don't have to know so much. Fetal indications we have discussed. Classification of urgency of cesarean. When will you do it? First, category 1, you may have to, you have to do it immediately. Patient is here, you just drag her to the OT and do it. When there is, you suspect there is a uterine rupture. There is a placental abruption, huge blood loss, cord prolapse, fetal hypoxia, or persistent fetal bradycardia. You have seen on CTG. The blood rate, fetal heart rate is dipping. What is the normal fetal heart rate? What is the range? Normal fetal heart rate on CTG? 110 to 160. So when we are saying bradycardia, it is less than 100. Fetal bradycardia less than 100. So we have to do it immediately. Category 2, where there is a maternal or fetal compromise, and which is not immediately life-threatening, but you have to plan to do it. This is category 2. And category 3 is no fetal or maternal compromise, but needs a little bit of early delivery. And category 4 is birth time to suit woman or healthcare provider. The obstetrician is not there, she is staying at a remote place, so she might have to travel a long distance. In these cases also, you have to plan a delivery quick, because by the time she comes, she might meet with an emergency. So bring her nearer to the place of delivery. So these are the 4 categories. Now decision in this category 1, you have to do it within 30 minutes, take the decision, do it. Category 2, 75 minutes, 1.5 hours, 1 to 1.5 hours, you have to do it. 15 to 30 minutes. Category 2, we are saying within 75 minutes. Category 3 te amra time period kichu dicchi na. Early birth, and category 4 is to suit the needs of the healthcare provider and this. These are all nice guidelines. 30 minutes হচ্ছে category 1 এর মধ্যে করতে হবে, category 2 75 এর মধ্যে করে দিতে হবে, আর category 3 you have to plan an early birth. category 3 তে আমরা 75 ইয়েতে বলতে পারছি না, category as soon as possible, in most cases in category 2 you have to do it within 30 to 75 এর মধ্যে করে দিতে হবে। হ্যাঁ, এটাই তো দিচ্ছে, within 75 minutes of making the decision. 15 minutes এর কোনো ক্যাটাগরি থাকবে না, 30 minutes এর মধ্যে করতে হবে। 15 minutes বলে কোথাও লেখা নেই, 30 within 30 বলতে হবে তোমাকে, 15 minutes তুমি করতেই পারবে না। It is within 30 minutes and that is within 75 minutes. Category 2 শেষ করে দাও। Category 3, 4 নিয়ে কোনো ডিসকাশন অত কিছু করা হচ্ছে না। We have to save the mother and the baby in category 1 predominantly and category 2 তারপরে। ওটা টাইমটা is less important than the urgency. ওটা করে দিতে হবে within 75. Category 3 বলে 15, 30, 75 এরকম ভাবে হবে না। It is within 30, within 75 and this has to be an early birth. তোমার RCOG এর থেকে এরকমই দেওয়া আছে, গিয়ে দেখবে আবার। আর types we have discussed. Okay, upper classical and lower. And the pre-operative preparation, how will you prepare the patient? You have to take a consent. A consent form has to be signed. Why you are doing a cesarean section? What is the indication? What are the other methods of doing it? And why you are choosing a scissor? You have to put it in writing. We have to sign a consent form every time that we are doing a cesarean section. This is very important. Patient has to be on fasting, say from liquids for 2 hours, light diet. You don't take light diet for 4 hours. And for a regular meal, you wait for 6 to 8 hours after a regular meal if you plan a section. If possible. কিন্তু যদি আমার category 1 হয়, we might not have that time. সেখানে তুমি 15 মিনিটস বলে দাঁড়িয়ে থাকলে হবে না। কি? কি লেখা আছে? ক্যাটাগরি 3 হোক না তোমার তো আর্লি বার্থ বলেই ওরা ছেড়ে দিচ্ছে। তোমার ক্যাটাগরি 2টা দেখো 30 to 45 এ চলে গেছে কি। তাহলে আমি তো বলছি ক্যাটাগরি 1টা 30 মিনিটস এর মধ্যে আর ক্যাটাগরি 2 উইদিন 75 মিনিটস এর মধ্যে। এটা একটা ব্রডলি 75 বলছে। ব্রডলি 75 বলছে। আর ক্যাটাগরি 3 তে অন 75 বলে স্টপ করছে না। ওরা বলছে আর্লি বার্থ করে দাও। সেটা এখানে একটা স্ট্যাম্প দিয়ে তুমি বলে দিচ্ছ, ওটা আবার দেখে অ্যামেন্ডমেন্ট করে ওটা আবার চেঞ্জ করবে। হ্যাঁ, ওই ক্যাটাগরি 3 45 to 75 এ আমরা তো 75 এর মধ্যে ক্যাটাগরি 2 কমপ্লিট করে দিতেই হবে। Our patient has to take a shower with soap, and shaving is sometimes recommended, sometimes not recommended. That is clipping of the hair in the abdominal area and the perineal area. And you have to, this is prior to taking her to OT. All this is pre-operative preparation she does even before she gives consent for the surgery. After the consent has been taken, then you start the drip, the pantoprazole, metoclopramide, and antibiotics, prophylactic antibiotics. What is the commonly given? We give pantoprazole 40 milligram IV. Metoclopramide you can use this, or we can use sometime ondansetron also is used. That is Zofar. This is as a Reglan tablet, Reglan injection, but Reglan has its own risks also. So we don't do it in a small setup. We usually use ondansetron and pantoprazole. Recommendation is metoclopramide. Why? Because the gastric emptying time in pregnancy increases. So patient has the chance of vomiting. So if she vomits, then there will be distress. She will aspirate. She will aspirate into the respiratory tract. To prevent that, we are giving this. Prevent this, we are allowing a fasting. That is why the food is not allowed. And if you have to take an immediate decision, then Ryle's tube suction, and we give magnesium trisilicate. This used to be given to neutralize the gastric acid. But nowadays it is less commonly used. Practically speaking, we use pantoprazole, ondansetron, and prophylactic antibiotics. 3rd generation cephalosporins you can use, and backed up with metronidazole, amic acid, gram negative. That is gram positive, negative, and anaerobes. 3 coverage. So Foley's catheterization, and you check the fetal heart rate. This I have just taken my one patient which I have done, but you can just go into Caesar is a very common. This is the commonest surgery done in any hospital. What is that? Amniotic sac. Try to identify the instruments. What is the instrument that is being removed? Doyens retractor. So there was a cord around the neck. You slip the cord around the head. What is the next step? Cord clamping with what? Take out that instrument from me. Focus আছে না ফোকাসের ইয়ে কি হবে ফোকাস আছে ফাইন্ড আউট instruments you have to identify. Can you see the set of instruments there? What is the first instrument that you need for a cesarean section? To begin it, what will you need? What are the things that you need? First, you need a patient. Okay? Second, you need a OT complex. You need your staff. Obstetrician is there. You are the obstetrician. Who else do you need? Anesthetist. And someone to assist you. Oh. What is this? What is this instrument? Pass it down, please. বার করো ভুল দেখলে ওখানে এই নম্বর চলে যাবে if you this is a uterine dressing forceps, don't pick this up. How many cockers do you need? 2. If there are twins, what will you do? Twins, triplets, clamping and cutting, clamping and cutting. How will you identify? You have to put some marker. So put an artery forceps so that you can mark which first twin or second co-twin. This is how you mark. Okay. Now this is the instrument, the tray, the whole tray of instruments that you require for a cesarean section. So once you have done all the pre-op preparations, what are the pre-op preparations? First shower, she has not given for a consent. ওখানে একদম fail. If you can't do any procedure without the consent of the patient. She has to give consent, or her companion has to give consent that you are undergoing a surgery. This is not a normal thing. This is a abdominal delivery, so she has to give a consent, informed consent. First consent, then anesthesia ke dekhe niye asle hobe na. Next, you have to prepare her for surgery. Do some counseling. That consent will not be given just like that. Madam, shoy korun kore din korbe na. You have to explain why you are doing it. She has given the consent. Then ask her to fast. If it is an elective section, you have time for it. If you don't have time for it, just tell her don't have anything else. Stop having any food, any water. Wheel her to the OT if it is an emergency. Then that will do Shayan will do it in 15 minutes. But it is enough that if you can do it within 30 minutes. Okay. So 30 to 75, that is the gray zone. These are not hard and fast rules. This is just to gear up to do it fast as possible. Because you have to arrange for an anesthetist. If the birth is happening in a regular obstetric unit, you have staff rolling throughout the day. Okay. You have the obstetrician, you have the anesthetist, you have the assistant surgeon, and who else is required? Neonatologist. So you have prepared the patient, you have put in she has taken the shower, the scrubbing has been done, shaving and dressing with, you can tell the staff to do a betadine solution scrub. That can be done with what percentage of betadine? 10% we use on paint when we do the surgery. Prior to that, 5 to 7.5% of betadine solution will suffice. Remember it. You can coat, okay, or chlorhexidine Savlon. That can also be used. But we usually use betadine nowadays. This has almost become a SOP that you use betadine. So the patient has had a shower, nursing staff has done cleansing with betadine solution, 5 to 7.5%. Hair clipping usually is done, some do not prefer, but it is usually done because that can cause, why we are doing it? What do we want to prevent? Infection. The dreadest enemy of the surgeon. I would not like my patient to have any infection. For that, you are not allowed all together to enter the OT. Limit the OT traffic. Okay, surgeons don't want infection. No one wants it, but surgeons are very, very frigid about it. Achha, then what is the position of the patient? Usually supine, and the instruments you have to tell your staff to lay out the instruments on the table. What are the instruments that you require? First, what do you need to do? First draping. Patient is lying. What will you do? Will you do a catheter? No one is mentioning. We have mentioned Foley's catheter. So you have to see whether your staff is ready or not. Once you start it, you cannot shout for things to be done. There is no one there. You have to ensure that everything is ready, then only you take your scalpel. Okay. So you have catheterized. What is the catheter? What catheter do you use? Foley's catheter. What do you call it? It is a continuous catheterization. And what is the amount of water that you push in? You have to know these details. They will find out whether you have been in the OT or not. একদম জিরো না জানলে চুপ করে থাকবে বলবে না বললে বিপদ হবে যখন if you are not sure don't say keep quiet it is 30 ml 15 to 30 ml capacity লেখা থাকে Foley's catheter এটা লাগবে এই কৃতিকে ডাক্তার তো ও তো জানে না কত কি লাগবে Foley's catheter you might be asked questions on that because this is a must. Why do you want to catheterize the bladder? Yes, very good. When we incise, if the bladder is full, what might happen? You can injure the bladder. When you write the consent, you also have to write, these are the injuries possible. On the consent form, you have to show a sign every time. These are the injuries possible. What are they? We'll discuss about the complications later, but you have to put it in writing. The surgeon has to sign it on that. Every time that we do a cesarean section, we have to sign that. There can be these complications. So, injury has to be prevented. So, we catheterize the patient. So, pre-op er moddhe, all this, the Foley's catheter is done. Then what do you do? I একটু Foley's catheter দেখো না আছে কিনা ওই catheter বোঝা যাচ্ছে আচ্ছা then after you have Foley's কি হলো তুমি কি বার করবে হ্যাঁ Foley's catheter আছে হ্যাঁ দাও বার করো তো আগেই তো বার করে বসতে হ্যাঁ Foley's catheter as a instrument can be given in medicine also, obs, gynae, surgery, everywhere. It is a continuous catheterization. It is not a temporary indwelling, it's a continuous indwelling catheter. এটা দেখো, এটা ইয়েটা কি আছে, ক্যাপাসিটি কত লেখা আছে দেখো। 14 French is the diameter, that is not the capacity. French is the caliber of this, and here is the capacity 30 ml bollam, capacity is written here. But everyone knows the use of a Foley's catheter. I don't want to go into that. Balloon is here, you inflate through this. You usually give 10 to, you start with 10. After the OT, we push in another 5 to 10 ml. Don't exceed 30 ml. What will happen if you push in 40 ml? What will happen? What will rupture? Which balloon? Can you see the balloon here? If you inflate only, you can see. You can do it with air also. So if you exceed the capacity, that will rupture. The purpose is defeated. It will come out there. Nothing will happen, but it will come out. You have given it to stay so that you can measure the output and you can deflate the bladder so that you don't cause inadvertent injury to the bladder while incising on the abdominal wall. We will have to go inside the abdomen. Okay. After everything catheter is done, what will you do? The next thing, that's very important thing. What will you do? IV fluid, etc. we have put. We have taken the patient, we have put on the IV line, we have injected the IV pantoprazole, the prophylactic antibiotics, antiemetics. Why are you doing it? Why are you doing it? What is your purpose? Fetal heart sound. No one has checked. Everyone has gone into the OT to do the surgery. You will be sued in court if you don't check the fetal heart sound. You don't know, the fetal heart sound may not be there. All this you have been, he has been waiting 15, 30, 45, fetal heart sound is gone. That will not do. You have to check the fetal heart sound yourself. You can ask your junior, ask whoever, if you are doing it, please check it yourself. Fetal heart sound has to be checked, has to be checked, has to be checked. This is the most important thing. You are trying to save the baby. Sometimes we do it to save the mother. But then we are not thinking about the baby. If the mother is so sick, she is sinking, then we don't think about the baby, save the mother. Okay, she is having bleeding, so much bleeding, just take out the baby, she will be saved. Or she is having eclampsia, this is an urgent thing. Ekdom category 1. Category 1 e eclampsia, cord prolapse, eglo sob korbe, abruptio. So we have done all the necessary things. Now comes your, who was saying, dressing, draping. Dressing has been done with betadine solution once again. You will cleanse, do the dressing from which end to what end? Very important. If you have been to the OT, you will be able to answer. From? Where will you start from? From mid-thigh. How will you start doing it? From xiphisternum to mid-thigh, including perineum. The whole thing. Vagina, you will not do in one go. Leave it. When you are doing the catheter, you can do a vaginal, you have already done the vaginal swab. Before doing a catheterization, you have to know. How do you do a catheterization? You have to first swab from above downwards, clean it with betadine, then separate the labia, insert the tip of the catheter, insert it inside the bladder, then inflate the balloon, and then pull it a little bit so that it comes out. Yes, আমরা একটা পকেট থেকে পেয়েছি সায়নের, thanks to him. Someone has taken the trouble to bring it. Thank you. আচ্ছা, এই হলো catheter হলো. Now dressing from nipple line, we said xiphisternum. When you advise your staff, you say nipple line to mid-thigh, but here you are doing it yourself. So you do it yourself from nipple line to mid-thigh. You do it twice, above downwards, not from mid-thigh upwards. You have to do it, the center is the lower abdominal section where you will do put the incision. So you have done the dressing, now the draping. Draping has to be done with sterile drapes. You have seen the drapes, it is usually green, but we have disposable drapes nowadays also, which you will throw away after each surgery. But the ones that we use in hospitals are reusable, but we have to autoclave it, sterile, make it sterile, and again reuse it. How many sheets do you use? Have you seen a cesarean section? You will have to have just a square window open. So first you cover the lower part, then you cover the two sides, cover the upper part, and you have this much space left where you will operate upon. চারটে দিয়ে হয় না, আরো দুটো দিতে হয়, মানে দুটো দিতে হয়. Then what are the things that you will ensure is working or not? Your anesthetist has come, your neonatologist is ready, someone who will assist you will be also there. S1 is yourself, whoever is the surgeon is S1, S2 is the first assistant, S3 is the second assistant, and sometimes you have your scrub nurse as well, who will manage the trolley. OT ইয়েটা বুঝতে হবে তো, বলতে হবে তো একটু. If you go inside an OT, you will understand this, you will say it just reflexly. Because you have not visited too often, that is why you cannot say. This takes time, don't get upset, but you go and see once for yourself. This is how it is laid out. So instruments you have to ensure. First, we have seen all this, we have to ensure whether the suction machine is working or not. Have you seen when we take out, we are sucking out the amniotic fluid. Why? Why are we doing this? Polyhydramnios is a condition where the fluid is more than average. That is not what we are fighting out here. If you don't suck out the amniotic fluid, baby might aspirate. Baby will take its first breath once it comes out of the womb. Inside the uterus, baby doesn't breathe. Baby is safe. Moment you take out, baby will take its first breath. So you suck out the fluid. When the baby is coming out vaginally, the fluid itself comes out. Here we see I have nicked on the amniotic sac, fluid comes out, suck it with a suction lagbe, suction tube আছে মানে আমাদের ট্রলিতে, প্রীতি আছে কি, এগুলো একটু রাখতে হবে, হ্যাঁ ডাকো একটু. মানে there is a suction tube attached to the section. কি কোথায় চললে? ডাকতে ডেকে আন. See, he is ready with the suction tube. Someone is holding it, see? You have to see the sucker machine is working or not. The moment the baby comes out and you are waiting for the sucker machine, that will not do. I have muted the sound because I was not happy with the way they were doing it. Acha, ebare suction you have ensured, sucker machine. We use a diathermy these days, so you have to see whether the diathermy, the electrosurgical unit is working well or not. You calibrate the charges, the power at say 40 or 30 units. You tell your staff that you keep it at that so that you don't cause inadvertent injury by burn. There is an electrical current there. We use it these days. So this you have checked. You have done the dressing dripping. Have you taken the count? Count of instruments. Count has to be taken 4 times. Before the things are unpacked and made ready, you take count then. Then before you start the surgery, start the procedure, you again count, shout aloud and tell your staff how many mops have you given. It will be all recorded on the board. What are the instruments used? What is the number used? All will be recorded on board. It can be a display board or a chalk and board, whatever. It has to be displayed. The scrub nurse there will be a scrub nurse, there will be a circulating nurse who will keep a record of that. And you will cross check. because you are the mastermind there. Anyone does any mistake, you will be incriminated. Okay, now you have done the swabbing, the cleansing. What instrument will you need for that? Sponge holding. Pick up that. সোজা বললে হবে না, ভুল বার করলেই আমি আচ্ছা ওদিকে তো পুরো সাইলেন্ট দেখছি, একটু এগিয়ে আসতে হবে, পাস করো। Identify the instrument. Swab holding forceps. With this, what do? Pre-operative preparation of the site of surgery, site of incision. All the betadine solution that I have been using with this swab holding forceps. Okay. So you have done it. Now you are ready with your knife. What is it called? Handle, BP handle and blade. It has a specific number. Each handle is specific for each number of blade. Oh, surgical blade handle nahi ekhane. Can you see this from behind? This is the BP handle, and we have blades of different sizes which will fit into it. So you hold the scalpel blade, the handle, and you give the incision. What is the name of that incision? Spelling. Fanen style. STEIL. Fanen style. Fanen style, P is silent. This is a curvilinear spiny incision. It is around 12 to 15 centimeters and it is 3 centimeters above the pubic symphysis. It is a curvilinear incision. So this is the Fanen style incision. Another incision is Joel Cohen. This is transverse. The same thing, this is transverse. And this is about 3 centimeters above the anterior superior iliac spine. And this one is 3 centimeters above the symphysis pubic. So this is a slightly longer. This is straight transverse and this is curvilinear. So this is slightly length is more, but this is a better cosmesis because it is in contour with the Langer's line. You know what a Langer's line? Skin creases. So it matches with the skin crease. Cosmesis is better with Fanen style. So that is the incision. You are going inside the abdomen. What are the structures you will cut before you enter the abdomen? First the skin. Skin, then subcutaneous tissue. Scarpa. Then sheath. Rectus sheath. Rectus sheath is above, anterior to the rectus muscle. This sheath is formed by the fused layer of external oblique aponeurosis and the internal oblique aponeurosis and transversus abdominis. So it becomes single layer. At this stage, all the layers come together. There are 3 muscle layers which all come above, anterior, and the muscle is here. So we are incising upon the anterior, the sheath, and after incising the sheath, we encounter the rectus muscles. Rectus muscles are vertical muscles. You can make your rectus erect. You can tauten up your rectus muscles. So those muscles are vertical muscles. After incising the sheath, we don't cut the muscles. We just separate it, pull it laterally or vertically to get the peritoneal membrane. That is the next layer. We have entered before entering, what is the structure? Peritoneum is there, peritoneal layer, transversus, the fascia transversalis and peritoneum, they are more or less together. So you stretch it, you can stretch it, you can take it up with 2 hemostatic forceps or Alice tissue forceps. Why do you pull it up? Because below it there is gut, omentum. If you don't pull up and you put a nick, you may injure the gut, omentum. The whole purpose will be against you. You are trying to save a life and you are creating more problem than good. So you have to pick up that. From the site of the, see, when the uterus is gravid, the whole abdomen is full of uterus. There is not much space. So you pull up, you enter the peritoneal cavity. Once you enter the abdominal cavity, what will you find? What is the first structure you see? Are fold told bad dao na, dhuke gechi to. Bladder you will see. That means you have not catheterized properly. You will see the uterus, come on. What else will you see? The uterus is in front of you. Everything, all other structures are behind the uterus. The uterus has, it is at its maximum size. Term fetus, you will just see the uterus. Then what will you do? You can put in a mop to separate to clear the site where you will give the incision. That is the lower segment. You are looking for the lower segment. Okay, so you will clear your sites, and what is the instrument that you will use? Doinson. Why is this used? You have seen in that video, we have taken out the, so someone has introduced. That was not being able to be shown properly. Once you enter, you have cleared the space, tell your assistant to hold it. Clear it. Push the bladder down, hold it. So suppose the patient is lying here, you have, bladder is here, you can stand up. অত আরাম করে বসে শেখা যাবে না সার্জারি, উঠে দাঁড়াতে হবে, দাঁড়িয়ে দেখতে হবে. So this is the abdominal, prevent injury. If the patient had a previous surgery, previous cesarean section or any other pelvic surgery, this space may not be so easy to get. You might not be able to reach it. So you push it down as far as possible. Your assistant surgeon is helping you and you have, then you take the knife and you will give the incision. Okay, you put the incision, you retract it, pull it with your fingers. If the lower segment is well formed, it is easier to pull. You can use your index finger to pull it apart. Why? You can also cut. But if you cut, there is less chance of, hemostasis is not so good. If you retract like this, the vessels collapse. So the hemostasis is better. Your one finger, index finger, you can retract like this. Fine. Then you get the amniotic membrane. Amniotic sac is there. You puncture it, the fluid comes out, you suck with your suction cannula. And you deliver. If it is a head, you will deliver. If it is a breech, what will you do? Leave it to your senior and come, run. No. You have to do something. External cephalic version, okhane ar kora jabe na. It is, you have to take out the breech. You have to hook out the breech. In the femopelvic, you just learn about head. Breech is difficult. For yours, you just try to deliver, hook out the baby is suppose like this, you hook out. Deliver, take out the head, take out the shoulders, trunk, buttocks, lower limbs, baby is out. Then you clamp with coccus. আছে বড় ছোট যেটা পাবে সেটা দিয়ে করে দিতে হবে, তো ছোট ছোট এটা ঠিক দেওয়া হয় না, এই লম্বাগুলোই দেওয়া হয়. Because see, the obstetrician is in a, she has a heart rate, or whoever is the obstetrician, heart rate is going up. Surgeons, so you don't have time to look for things. This will be ready. You have to clamp and you feel the pulsation for how many minutes? 1 or 2 minutes. We have discussed during the OSPE classes. See the pulsation, clamp, give it to the neonatologist. If the neonatologist is not present, at least the scrub nurse, whoever is there, take the baby away from there. And if the baby needs resuscitation, you start immediately. Now you come back to your mother. So the cord is there. You have to give control cord traction as you give. Placenta has to be expelled slowly. After the placenta has expelled, you check whether the cotyledons have come out. Then you do cleansing inside the uterus. Now, some people exteriorize the uterus. That is, you take out the uterus was inside like this lying. We take it out. Take it out of the cavity. I personally take it out, but there are people who do it with the uterus in situ, within the abdominal cavity, and they repair there. There are two advantages. If you take it out, you can see the adnexa, tube, ovary, etc. If there is any bleeding also, you can see the POD. And if you keep it in situ, the thing is, you are not pulling it out, you are maintaining the anatomy and then doing it. Sometimes we cannot take out. Suppose there is adhesion behind. Patient had a severe endometriosis, adhesions. Uterus is not good. Don't pull. Leave it. Do it. Tell your assistant to see. Take your opinion. Now start closing. How will you close? It is an incision. There are two angles. You have to secure the angles and two flaps, upper margin and lower margin. Duto margin royeche. Suppose this is the two up margins. So we have to take we do it with Alice tissue forceps, 4 tissue forceps. We used to use green Armitage clamps previously. Nowadays it is not available everywhere, but Alice tissue forceps will do the purpose. Eta dhoro. Bar kora ache Alice ache. You hold it like this. This is one angle. This is another angle. Catch the upper flap, lower flap. So 4 Alice tissue forceps should be ready. Shout for it if you don't get it. Because this angle is the site, the uterine artery is there. So if you don't secure it properly, you will be in mess. Aki size, long forceps we need, long instruments, because we are doing this surgery very fast. We don't have much time here. We have to do it very fast. Why? Because if you delay this repair, there is more chance of bleeding. Uterus will contract. There is bleeding due to what? There might be trauma. We have treated the trauma. There is a trauma there. Trauma means that the surgery itself is a trauma, and the tonicity, the uterus should contract. The more time you spend on doing this, looking for things, that will you lose valuable time. You have to be fast, smart, and do it immediately. Okay? So you have done it. You will repair it in 2 or 3 layers. So you secure the angles. It's best to secure the angles separately. I do it separately. This angle, do it. Go to this. Get a continuous suturing done. Suture material you have to know. Usually 1 or 10 Vicryl. That might be given to you. Just what is it used for? The needle size around 40 millimeter, half circle. There are several sizes of needles. Shapes of needle. It is half circle, 40 millimeter, half circle, Vicryl is normally used. And you repair it in 2 layers, close it. You can peritonize, that is the 3rd layer. Done. Then you take the count. Now you are going to close the abdomen. So you will repair the visceral layer and parietal layer of peritoneum. Some do it, some don't. We do it. Conventionally it is done. Visceral layer of peritoneum, and before that you have to take the count. This is the 3rd count before closure. After closure, you take the 4th count. That is peritoneum done. So abdominal cavity is closing. Then you have given an incision on the sheath. You have to repair the sheath. That sheath also repaired in this way. It is open, gaping. You will secure the ends and repair it with your Vicryl. Done, sheath closed. Then what is remaining is subcutaneous tissue and skin. You can close it with interrupted sutures, removable sutures, delayed absorbable, or non-absorbable. Usually nowadays we use Vicryl Rapid, that is to close the subcutaneous tissue, and I give a subcuticular suture so that you don't have to remove it, and the cosmesis is good. And the Fanel style incision itself is a very good incision. So if you don't have any trouble, you go for Fanel style incision. So your cesarean section is done. Done means you will walk off. No, you have to do something else. What else is remaining? What will you ensure? You have done the thing. Now, what is the next job? You have to do vaginal swabbing. You have to see whether the vagina is bleeding or not. You have to do palpate the uterus, fundus, whether it has contracted or not. If it is flabby, your anesthetist is giving those oxytocin. Oxytocin has been given, 10 units IM. Remember those PPH protocol. Those are given. Syntocinon given, oxytocin, 10 units IM and 10 units in drip. So this is done. If required, you can use Methergine also. And per vagina, you can use misoprostol. Usually, we use 600 microgram. That is the 6 contraction. করণী তো সিজার, এমনি হচ্ছে কি হচ্ছে না সেটা পরে বুঝবে, দিয়ে দিতে হবে, বই মিলিয়ে অঙ্ক হবে না, you have to give. So if your uterus is contracted, we call it don't contraction, we say it's retracted, fine. Okay, and then that is done. See the vitals, ask your anesthetist whether the patient is fine, keep her in the recovery for some time, and wheel her to the ward after it is done. ঠিক আছে? 600 দেওয়া হয়, prophylactically 600, therapeutically 1000. PPH prevent করার জন্য। হ্যাঁ সাকশন মেশিন কিসের? সাকশন আমরা তো দেখিয়ে দিলাম, ও তো আসছেই না, ওদের নেই হয়তো সাকশনের আছে কি নেই। এনি কোয়েশ্চেন? ইনস্ট্রুমেন্ট তোমার কি কি লাগলো? এবার যেগুলো লাগলো ওগুলো বার করে সাজিয়ে রাখো। All the instruments that you have, scalpel blade, এই এনলিস্ট করো, এগুলো রাখতে হবে, একটা লিস্ট বানাও। Police catheter first, swab holder, scalpel blade and handle, hemostatic forceps 6, Alice tissue forceps 4. Once you are entering, you are encountering many vessels. This we are coagulating, ligating and entering. This I can't show you here, but when you do the surgery, you will see it is full of blood. You have to take control of the bleeding points. The diathermy unit ঠিক আছে কিনা দেখতে বললাম, that is why. এগুলো স্ক্যালপেল ব্লেড নেই, এটা ইয়ে করতে হবে, keep it in the list. সাকশনের টিউব, সাকশন টিউব, এলো কৃতিকে বলে, কৃতিকে ডাকো একটু, আছে এদিকে। আচ্ছা, কমপ্লিকেশনস কি কি হতে পারে? ইনফেকশন, ব্লিডিং, ইমিডিয়েট কমপ্লিকেশনস, লেট কমপ্লিকেশনস,